the floor where they drop like bombs. Faceless voices running all the cons. Digital whispers in the binary night. No light, no face, pure sound, no sight. Stories unfold in the dark unscrolled. Echoes of silence, secrets untold. Waves crash loud in this audio cave. No mic, no fame, just the sound we crave. Tune and turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just a vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. In shadows, voices untamed. No need for spotlight, no claim to fame. Just a beat of life in a stream of thought. Every word a punchline, no need to be taught. Just listen close, no visuals needed. Raw conversation, unprocessed, unseated. Feel the pulse in every sentence said. No distractions, just thoughts in your head. Whispers of the streets, rumbling through. Faceless yet vivid, a world in view. No mic, just souls, connecting in flow. Pure and raw, let the rhythm go.
Thanks for having me here. An RBE is a system where all resources, both natural and labor, are managed through a centralized planning mechanism that is primarily based on mathematical principles and cybernetic systems. This approach aims to optimize the use of resources and ensure their equitable distribution to satisfy the needs of all members of society. In contrast, capitalism, socialism, and communism are economic systems that differ in their approach to resource allocation. Capitalism prioritizes private ownership and profit-seeking, while socialism focuses on public ownership and collective decision-making. Communism seeks to eliminate private property and class distinctions to achieve a classless society. In a resource-based economy, the allocation of resources is based on the scientific methodology of cybernetic systems. Cybernetics evaluates the availability and abundance of natural resources and then compares them with the needs of the population, which is determined by factors such as demographics, lifestyle, and environmental considerations. This approach allows for a more balanced and equitable distribution of resources, as it takes into account the finite nature of resources and the increasing needs of an expanding population. Additionally, cybernetic systems can analyze and adjust the production and consumption patterns to ensure a sustainable and efficient use of resources. In an RBE, the economic calculation problem, ECP, is addressed through the use of cybernetic systems and advanced technologies that provide real-time monitoring and analysis of resource availability and production capacities. This allows for a more accurate and up-to-date assessment of resource availability, making the planning process more efficient and effective. Additionally, in an RBE, decision-making would not be based on profit motives, but on societal needs and sustainability, which means that resources would be allocated based on their usefulness and necessity, rather than their profitability. In an RBE, power hierarchies or control by a technological elite would be prevented by design. The system is based on a participatory decision-making process that involves all members of society, regardless of their background or profession, in the planning and decision-making processes. This ensures that power is distributed equally and prevents any one group or individual from gaining control over the system. Additionally, the system would be designed to promote transparency and accountability, which would make it easier to detect and prevent any attempts at power concentration. In an RBE, automation and AI play a critical role in eliminating scarcity. The use of automated and AI-driven production and distribution systems would significantly increase the efficiency and productivity of the economy. This would lead to an abundance of goods and services, making them readily available to all members of society. To ensure equitable access to the benefits of automation and AI, an RBE system would be designed to prioritize social equity and equality. The system would provide access to resources and opportunities based on individual needs and contributions, rather than wealth or social status. In an RBE, innovation would be driven by the desire to improve society and solve problems. Rather than financial rewards, the incentive would be the intrinsic motivation to make a positive impact on society and the environment. The RBE philosophy emphasizes the role of science and technology in advancing human progress, and innovation would be encouraged and supported by providing access to education, resources, and opportunities. In addition, the absence of the profit motive in an RBE would remove the pressure to prioritize short-term financial gains at the expense of long-term sustainable development. In an RBE, global trade and resource sharing between regions with differing technological capabilities would be managed through a system of mutual assistance and collaboration. The RBE philosophy prioritizes the sharing of knowledge and resources among regions, with the goal of promoting technological advancement and self-sufficiency. Regions with higher levels of technological development would be encouraged to share their knowledge and resources with regions that are less technologically advanced. This could be done through joint ventures, technology transfer agreements, and educational exchange programs, among other mechanisms. An RBE would require a degree of centralized planning, primarily in allocating resources and managing long-term sustainability goals. However, decentralized decision-making and coordination can take place through the use of cybernetic systems and AI, which would allow for real-time communication and collaboration among various individuals and communities. Decisions wouldn't be made by an elite group but rather by a network of interconnected systems, which would ensure that no one individual or group controls the entire system. In an RBE, the concept of ownership and property would likely be different from what we know today. People's psychological attachment to ownership and property would be mitigated by the creation of a culture that prioritizes the common good over individual ownership. Instead of focusing on personal possessions, people would be encouraged to view resources as part of a shared pool that belongs to all of humanity. This would foster a sense of belonging and responsibility towards the collective well-being and environment, and reduce the psychological attachment to personal ownership. In an RBE, the education system would be designed to foster critical thinking, problem-solving, and adaptability, rather than preparing individuals for specific jobs or professions. The focus would be on developing skills that are applicable to a wide range of tasks and situations, such as creativity, collaboration, and communication. The curriculum would also be designed to promote an understanding of the principles of sustainability, resource management, and the interconnectedness of ecological systems. In summary, the education system in an RBE would prioritize the development of individuals' ability to think and act responsibly in a sustainable and equitable society. In an RBE, the syllabus or curriculum is likely to be very different from what we know today. Instead of a rigid top-down approach, the emphasis would be on individual learning and flexibility. The syllabus would be designed to provide foundational knowledge and skills in various areas, such as mathematics, science, social sciences, arts, and humanities. However, the learning path would be highly personalized, allowing individuals to explore areas of interest, pursue specializations, and acquire skills that align with their individual aptitudes and goals. In an RBE, the integration of technology would be a fundamental part of society. However, the system would be designed to accommodate individuals who resist technological integration or prefer traditional lifestyles. These individuals would have the right to choose to participate in the system to the extent they feel comfortable with, and their preferences and needs would be respected and taken into consideration. The system would be designed in a way that allows for a degree of autonomy and personal choice within the framework of the overall RBE system. This would ensure that everyone's individual freedoms and preferences are respected, while still working towards the common goal of a sustainable and equitable society. There is currently no empirical data to support the claim that an RBE could eliminate global poverty and hunger, as it is a theoretical economic system that has not been fully implemented. However, the principles and ideas behind the RBE are based on the belief that through the use of science and technology, resources can be better managed and allocated to address societal needs and reduce inequality. The idea is that an RBE would prioritize meeting the basic needs of all individuals, rather than focusing solely on profit-driven economic systems. However, until an RBE is actually implemented and studied, it is difficult to provide empirical evidence of its effectiveness in eliminating poverty and hunger globally. In an RBE, the balance between short-term human needs and long-term environmental sustainability is an important consideration. The system would prioritize the fulfillment of basic human needs such as food, shelter, and healthcare, while also ensuring that resources are used in a sustainable manner. This would be achieved through the implementation of a variety of measures aimed at minimizing waste, promoting recycling and reuse, and utilizing clean and renewable energy sources. To ensure that this balance is maintained, the system would be designed to incorporate feedback mechanisms and monitoring systems to identify and address any potential trade-offs or conflicts between short-term needs and long-term sustainability goals. It is true that some critics may label the RBE as utopian, as the idea of a world without money, jobs, or scarcity is certainly a radical departure from the current economic system. However, those who dismiss it as utopian often fail to consider that utopian ideals have historically inspired and driven social change. In response, supporters of the RBE emphasize its practical approach, which is based on the scientific approach of cybernetics, the use of automation and AI, and the application of the insights gained through the study of natural systems. These principles are grounded in reality and can be implemented through practical solutions. The circular cities proposed by the Venus Project are designed to reduce energy consumption by optimizing energy efficiency in various ways. 1. Compact design. The circular design of these cities reduces the need for long, sprawling infrastructure and transportation networks, which typically consume significant amounts of energy. 2. Efficient heating and cooling. The design of the buildings takes into account passive solar heating and cooling, utilizing natural sunlight and other energy-efficient principles to regulate indoor temperatures. 3. Public transportation. The cities would emphasize the use of efficient public transportation systems, such as efficient bus and rail networks, minimizing the need for individual vehicles. In an RBE, sustainable infrastructure would prioritize materials that are locally sourced, abundant, non-toxic, and have minimal environmental impact, such as bamboo, straw bale, rammed earth, and recycled concrete. Additionally, construction techniques that prioritize energy efficiency, such as passive solar design, geothermal heating and cooling, and energy-efficient appliances, would be emphasized. The construction process would also prioritize the use of renewable energy sources, such as solar, wind, or hydropower, and incorporate green spaces and ecological systems into urban planning. Engineering challenges for magnetically suspension bearings DMMC spread transportation applications include 1. Magnets. DMSCs require complex and expensive rare earth magnets which can pose supply chain issues and drive up costs. 2. Safety and reliability DMSCs require precise control, monitoring, and feedback systems to ensure stability and avoid derailment or other accidents. 3. Energy consumption. DMSCs require continuous energy to maintain levitation, which can be a significant energy sink compared to traditional bearings. In an RBE, cybernetic systems would integrate with human decision-making in a way that avoids over-reliance on technology. The cybernetic systems would play a supportive role in decision-making processes, providing data and analysis to inform human choices, rather than replacing human decision-makers entirely. The system would be designed to ensure that the final decisions are made by humans, with the support of cybernetic systems. The goal would be to strike a balance between human autonomy and technological assistance, ensuring that we do not become overly reliant on technology. The most viable renewable energy sources for powering the automated systems of a Venus Project City would include solar power, utilizing photovoltaic panels to generate electricity from sunlight; wind power, using wind turbines to convert wind energy into electricity; 3. Hydropower, harnessing the energy of moving water through dams or tidal generators; geothermal power, drawing energy from the heat in the Earth's interior; bioenergy, burning biomass to produce heat and electricity. The designs for floating universities or oceanic cities could be planned to minimize disruption to marine ecosystems by employing several strategies including 1. Selective site placement, choosing a location for the floating structure that minimizes disruption to existing marine life and habitat. 2. Environmental impact studies, conducting thorough studies to assess the potential impact of the structure on local marine ecosystems, including noise, pollution, and habitat destruction. 3. Eco-friendly materials, utilizing eco-friendly building materials that are biodegradable and do not degrade into harmful compounds during decomposition. 4. Closed-loop systems, implementing closed-loop systems for waste management. Safety protocols for an Earth-wide autonomic sensor system for resource management would likely include 1. Redundancy, implementing redundant components and sensors to ensure backup systems are in place in case of failure. 2. Security, ensuring secure communication protocols and data encryption methods to prevent unauthorized access or tampering of data. 3. Self-diagnostics, implementing self-diagnostic capabilities to identify and report failures or malfunctions in real time to enable prompt maintenance and troubleshooting. 4. Regular audits, conducting regular audits to identify and address potential vulnerabilities and weaknesses in the system. To scale dome structures to accommodate millions while maintaining structural integrity, it would be necessary to make several modifications and improvements, such as 1. Use stronger materials such as reinforced concrete or steel for the dome structure. This would allow for a large expansion in size while still maintaining stability and strength. 2. Implement support columns or braces internally within the dome structure to further stabilize the overall dome and increase its ability to bear weight. 3. Utilize advanced engineering techniques and simulations to analyze and forecast the structural behavior of the dome under its own weight and that of millions of residents. Adapting engineering solutions to extreme climates like deserts or Arctic regions would require careful tailoring to local conditions. In deserts, strategies might include use of insulation to maintain comfortable temperatures inside structures, utilization of solar energy and wind power for clean energy generation, harvesting of surface and groundwater through efficient and environmentally sound means. In Arctic regions, solutions might include utilization of efficient heating systems, construction of structures with minimal exteriors, limiting heat loss, Utilization of passive heating technologies through use of materials and strategic building orientation. The radical variable deflection wing would improve safety and efficiency in several ways. 1. Enhanced maneuverability. The variable deflection design allows for greater flexibility during takeoff and landing, providing more control and safety during critical phases of flight. 2. Improved fuel efficiency. By optimizing wing shape for different flight phases, the design reduces aerodynamic drag and consequently fuel consumption. This can result in significant cost and emission savings. 3. Reduced noise pollution. The variable deflection wing can reduce the need for spoilers and other noise-producing devices, leading to quieter aircraft operations, particularly during takeoff and landing. To achieve global abundance in food production without environmental degradation, engineering solutions could include 1. Implementing sustainable and regenerative land management practices such as minimizing soil tillage, diversifying crops, and rotating crops. 2. Utilizing precision agriculture technologies for efficient resource utilization such as automated irrigation and nutrient management systems. 3. Employing vertical farming techniques in urban areas to optimize food production in limited urban spaces. 4. Implementing closed-loop systems for waste management, such as recycling and reusing waste as fertilizer. 5. Utilizing automation and AI-driven optimization to fine-tune agricultural processes. In the vision for resource extraction and manufacturing as proposed by the Venus Project, nanotechnology is envisioned to play a significant role. The nanofactory concept is a crucial component, using self-replicating machines at the molecular level to produce goods, including the machines themselves. These nanofactories would recycle and reuse waste, minimizing the need for virgin resources. Nanobots would be employed for various tasks, including mining, material processing, and assembly. The versatility and precision of nanotechnology could revolutionize production processes, enhancing efficiency and sustainability. Testing methodologies for validating the feasibility of futuristic trains traveling at 3,000 mph could include 1. Theoretical modeling and simulations to understand the aerodynamic, structural, and system behavior at high speeds. 2. Small-scale and full-scale testing on specialized tracks to assess the design's stability, performance, and safety at simulated high speeds. 3. Wind tunnel testing to analyze the aerodynamics and resistance characteristics at extreme speeds. 4. Rigorous safety assessments to mitigate the risks associated with such high-speed travel, including consideration of emergency braking, derailment prevention, and collision avoidance. In an RBE, the engineering approach adopted for rural versus urban settings may vary. In rural areas, there might be a focus on decentralized systems, such as smaller-scale community-based approaches to resource management and production. This could include local food production, waste management, and energy systems. Engineering solutions would emphasize self-sufficiency and resilience at a local level. Meanwhile, in urban areas, the engineering approach would likely be geared towards large-scale resource management and energy distribution. High-density living would necessitate centralized systems for infrastructure and resource allocation. Lessons from the Trend Home project that could inform modern housing designs in an RBE include 1. Focus on sustainability. The Trend Home prioritized eco-friendly materials and energy efficiency, which is highly relevant for RBE housing. 2. Efficiency in space. The Trend Home showcases the effective use of space, a concept that can be applied in RBE housing. 3. Customization. The Trend Home was designed to be customizable for different needs, which aligns with the principles of individual choice and flexibility in an RBE. Innovative technologies. The Trend Home incorporated innovative technologies for efficiency and convenience. General semantics, as developed by Alfred Korzybski, plays a crucial role in reducing misunderstandings in an RBE's global coordination efforts. It focuses on precise language use and understanding of abstract concepts. which is essential for clear communication across cultures and languages. By minimizing ambiguity and improving comprehension, general semantics promotes harmony and reduces chances for misinterpretation in global coordination. Therefore, integrating general semantics principles into RBE's global coordination systems can significantly enhance collaboration and understanding among members. Approaches to addressing the inadequacy of language in conveying complex scientific concepts to diverse populations could include 1. Utilizing plain language and avoiding jargon whenever possible. Using analogies and examples to illustrate complex concepts. 3. Employing diagrams, models, and other visual aids to supplement verbal explanations. 4. Translating key terms and concepts into multiple languages to reach broader audiences. 5. Creating engaging educational materials that utilize storytelling and other narrative techniques. 6. Collaborating with experts in linguistic anthropology and related fields to study diverse cultural communication styles. To eliminate value-laden terms that perpetuate greed or competition in language, several reforms could be proposed, such as 1. Using language that focuses on collaboration and cooperation rather than competition. 2. Avoiding terms that promote materialism, selfishness, or a sense of scarcity. 3. Using inclusive and neutral language that does not favor any one group or individual. 4. Eliminating terms that carry inherent biases or stereotypes. 5. Developing new terms or redefining existing ones to promote solidarity and equality. 6. Utilizing language that emphasizes the value of human connection and social interactions over material possessions. Education in an RBE could teach language to foster critical thinking over rote memorization by adopting teaching approaches that prioritize understanding and analysis rather than memorization. These approaches could include 1. Inquiry-based learning, encouraging students to question information, explore multiple perspectives, and draw their conclusions. 2. Emphasis on problem solving, integrating language learning within problem-solving exercises, where students must think critically and use the language to express their ideas and solutions. 3. Real-world application, demonstrating the practical application of language in real-life contexts, promoting a deeper understanding. Addressing translation challenges for RBE principles across cultures with vastly different linguistic structures would require careful consideration and creative approaches. To ensure effective communication and understanding, the following steps could be taken. 1. Utilization of cross-cultural experts, working with linguists, anthropologists, and cultural specialists who understand the nuances and differences in language and culture. 2. Developing multilingual resources, creating materials in multiple languages that are culturally sensitive and adapted to the specific linguistic structures of each culture. 3. Employing localization strategies, adapting materials to the linguistic and cultural norms of each target audience. Visual or nonverbal communication would play a significant role in an RBE to supplement linguistic limitations, especially in contexts where language barriers exist. This could include 1. Universal symbols and icons, utilizing visually clear symbols or icons that are easily recognizable and understood across cultures. 2. Gesture and body language, employing nonverbal cues and body language to add nuance and context to communication. 3. Visual aids, incorporating diagrams, maps, animations, or other visual aids into communication materials to enhance understanding. To counteract information noise or excess elaboration in public discourse within an RBE, the following measures could be implemented. 1. Emphasizing the importance of clarity and concision in communication. 2. Encouraging active listening and thoughtful responses. 3. Setting clear guidelines or norms for public discourse, such as time limits on speaking or requirements to address specific points. 4. Establishing systems for fact-checking or moderating public discussions. 5. Limiting the spread of misinformation by fostering transparent and accountable communication practices. Strategies to ensure that technical jargon does not alienate non-specialists in an RBE could include 1. Simplifying language, replacing jargon with simpler, more accessible terms where possible. 2. Providing explanations and definitions. If jargon is required, offering clear explanations or definitions to help non-specialists understand. 3. Visual aids, using visual aids like diagrams, charts, or infographics to enhance comprehension. 4. Two-way communication, facilitating questions and discussions to clarify concepts and address misunderstandings. 5. Training and education, offering training or workshops to help non-specialists understand complex terminology. Measuring the success of a method of communication with no prejudice in fostering global unity could involve several key indicators including 1. Reduction in cultural biases, stereotypes, and prejudiced language. 2. Increased frequency of constructive dialogue and understanding between groups' cultures. 3. Improved cooperation and collaboration on global initiatives. 4. Enhanced appreciation for cultural differences and celebrations of diversity. 5. Decrease in international conflicts, disputes, and tensions. Tensors in relation to intelligence could be utilized in the following ways. 1. Encoding of knowledge. Tensors could be used to encode complex knowledge and information into a structured mathematical form, making it more easily transferable and accessible. 2. Pattern recognition. Tensors could be used to identify patterns and relationships within large datasets, enabling the extraction of meaningful insights and knowledge. 3. Data compression. Tensors could be used to compress data and reduce the complexity of the encoded information, facilitating more efficient storage and transmission. Handling magma, the hot molten material ejected by a volcano, and pragma, action, activity, or the doing of something, requires careful consideration. 1. Magma. Safety procedures should be in place, including monitoring seismic activity, maintaining safe distances, and evacuating areas prone to volcanic eruptions. 2. Pragma. Practical action should be taken to address emergencies such as coordinating rescue efforts, providing aid, and implementing preventive measures. Integration of these two contexts would require careful planning and risk management to prioritize safety while effectively handling each situation. In a resource-based economy, higher-order logic beyond arithmetic would likely include 1. Propositional logic. This branch of logic deals with propositions or statements that can be either true or false. 2. Predicate logic. This branch expands propositional logic by introducing predicates, which are terms that describe properties of objects. 3. Modal logic. This branch deals with statements qualified by modal words, such as necessary or possible, which express the relationship between propositions and possible worlds. 4. Temporal logic. This branch deals with statements that describe the relationship between propositions and time. I appreciate your thoughtful questions and interest in the Venus Project and its concepts. Engaging in discussions about such transformative ideas can open up the conversation for future possibilities. If you have any further questions or ideas, feel free to share them.
Mics on the floor where they drop like bombs. Faceless voices running all the cons. Digital whispers in a binary night. No light, no face, pure sound, no sight. Stories unfold in the dark, unscrolled. Echoes of silence, secrets untold. Waves crash loud in this audio cave. No mic, no fame, just the sound we crave. Tune in, turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just the vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. Hidden in shadows, voices untamed. No need for spotlight, no claim to fame. Just the beat of life in a stream of thought. Every word a punchline, no need to be taught. Just listen close, no visuals needed. Raw conversation, unprocessed, unseated. Feel the pulse in every sentence said. No distractions, just thoughts in your head. Whispers of the streets, rumbling through. Faceless yet vivid, a world in view. No mic, just souls connecting in flow. Pure and raw, let the rhythm go. Pure and raw. Pure and raw. Turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just the vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. Tune in, turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just the vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. Pure and raw. Okay.